Welcome to Interviewing Hollywood with me, your host, Shahid Manning. We have a world premiere interview today that includes fitness models, prostitution, sexual reassignment, sex, celebrities. It's a recipe for excitement and drama. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Toni Newman, the author of the new book, I Rise, The Transformation of Toni Newman. I Rise is an exciting new book that chronicles Toni's transformation from a world-recognized playgirl model to a high-priced transgendered prostitute, whose clientele included top Hollywood celebrities and producers. What struck me after meeting Toni was her bravery. In the face of many obstacles at the height of her male modeling career, he announced to the modeling world, family and friends, that he needed to become a she. Then, with little or no support, he went from Toni Newman with a Y to Toni Newman with an I. You talked a lot about the hardship of becoming a transsexual. Now we're at the point where you were like, I need to start changing the way I look to match my inside. You shared with me some hardship stories between what black women go through versus what their white counterparts go through. Share with us the trials, the trials and tribulations of transforming yourself from an economic perspective, not to mention from all the things that happen at work. So you walk into work and you tell them, I'm going to change. What happened?
I was working at Adolphus Fitness at that time.
Okay.
And he's a black bodybuilder, owned it with his wife Barbara.
Okay.
And there's no way I could still be the trainer that I was, Toni the man, because people were more focused on the outward appearance, the wig, and all of that. I'm just a drag queen training people.
Right.
So he's like, look, when you come here, I need you to be
a man.
A man.
And you didn't want to do that.
You and I are the best of friends. And I knew if I'm going to do this, I have to do it all out. So I quit.
Wow.
And I had a choice. He gave me several choices.
Right.
But none of them included me transitioning on the job.
Wow.
So I quit, and the only place I knew to go to find them at that point was on 14th Street, called Tranny Prostitution Row. That's where most of your gorgeous transsexuals was back in the 90s.
Okay.
At that time.
So this is
went
New York?
to the gay centers and other places. I didn't see anybody black like me doing what I was doing. They were on the streets at night. Stayed in the daytime, worked the streets at night. So I went out there where they were. At that point, I'd run out of all of my insurance because I had no more job.
Right.
I ran through thousands of dollars, taking hormones, laser treatments. So I'd run out of money.
So let me be clear. You started financing your transition
while I was working.
While you were working on the working. But then you had to supplement it after you walked away from your job.
I still had the same bills.
Okay, right. So you went straight down to 14th Street.
I had to pay my rent, and now I had extra stuff of almost $1,000 to $2,000 a month of transitioning.
Wow.
The laser stuff was very expensive. The laser of the body.
Okay, I don't want to get too vulgar.
Hormones.
But how much do you make on 14th Street a month?
The dates were $40 to $50 blowjobs.
Really?
So it took 7 to 8
That's
days of sucking cock to earn $400 a night. So it was a you go from making $2,000 a week to making $200, sometimes $100 a night, sometimes $175, sometimes $50 a night. So it was a whole.
But it was harder. Then you're saying a little bit harder.
You got 50, 60 girls out there, and you strutting it. They're strutting it. The car pull over, and if the vibe wasn't you, he'd drive up and pick up the one in the red. I don't want to get
to the guys yet because that's my third segment. Okay, so but what I want to focus on is the difficult economic situation, the more difficult economic situation, the difference between the black transgendered and you mentioned this to me.
Well,
and the
you
white
have no
transgendered.
money. You can't call home and say, "Hi, mommy, I need $500 this month to get my hormones. I need that to get my silicone treatment." Well, you better pray because I won't give it to you.
Right.
If the black family has it, they're not going to give it to you.
That's right. Because
most of them don't
like the fact that you're doing it.
Most of the black girls quit high school,
right.
have no GED, so they left home early because the family just didn't take them.
So it's the age-old economic difference, and
it was a step down from being black gay.
Right.
Black gay was tough, but okay.
Right.
So you even lower than that.
Wow.
Black transgender is we don't want to hear from you right now.
How'd that make you feel?
It was what it was.
But you had to do it because that's who you are.
And so I whored and walked the street and lived in the Harlem and lived in the crack house and lived with the prostitutes, the females, the dope dealers. I had that room in that house, and dope was being sold on the 3rd floor, cops in and out. You know, for a year and a half, it was what it was.
Right.
You know, what can you do?
So, sadly, you told me that, I mean, you're a very smart woman, and you told me that you did research on your pre-op because you wanted to, because you were going to go all the way.
I fully intended to go post-op, and then I started working 14th Street and running into girls who had removed their balls, first step, into going that direction, and seeing what occurred. And then I started calling doctors, emailing doctors, asking questions, and then began to see the reality of it. Maybe I didn't get what I want to get. Maybe it wasn't going to work like I wanted to.
You told me
that surgery has not been perfected even till today. Even by $20,000, which is probably the best vagina you can buy, is 20 grand. And it just wasn't.
Okay, that's interesting because I remember we were talking about this.
Others, as you know, on Tyra, the young lady, she's already paid her, I think, several thousands of dollars. She has it, and I wish her the best. But for me,
she actually did it on Tyra, actually, and she had a transgendered person to do it.
And for me, the uncertainty of what I get and the after effect that I saw in my black transgender, which was 5 or 6, I saw at least 10. Over 7 or 8 of those very unhappy ladies.
So you're talking about 80% of the time. So the reason why they're unhappy.
That I know.
That's right. Understand.
Based on my research.
That's right. So on your research, based on what you did, which is fine. I think things happen for a reason, and you learn that for a reason.
And after going to the doctor with them, hanging out with them, having to go there and get it redone, it just, I said, I don't want to put myself through that. It's too unsure.
To backtrack though, they was unsure because specifically they weren't. The clitoris didn't work.
Some didn't work.
Some were always bleeding. I want to hear this.
Some had all kinds of problems that ran into thousands more.
So it caused psychological problems, and it also caused people to sometimes take their life. That's what you're telling me.
Because you're at the end of the line. Once you've cut your penis off and go to a vagina, as a transgender, there's nothing left to do.
That's right.
But so if you're not happy with that post-op vagina that the doctor just gave you,
then you're up.
There's nothing else you can go back and say, you know what? I want to go back.
But there's another dynamic comes from the other side. The actual men that you deal with as a pre-op transgendered don't like
want
you
a vagina.
Afterwards.
They want the pre.
Wow.
Most of the ones that were pre, who dated the guy that was pre, when they went post, they said, "C'est la vie," wouldn't want to be you.
So
love you.
Like
I'm
it
out.
Flips. Suddenly you're a girl, and they don't want
that.
They
said, "I've had vagina, can go get a real vagina. Why would I want a fake vagina?"
So again, I'm going to put a little happy face on this because this is a really tough situation. This is a tough subject. I need to don pumps and heels and hair because y'all. I ain't got no man, and I'm feeling real wrong about that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. I'm getting a man. You know what I'm saying? All right. So
you want a thug? Put a wig on.
I don't want a thug. I want a nice big Bo Jackson, handsome, mature
and you want to put a wig on?
Shut.
I don't know him, but I'm assuming you probably have a better chance with the wig on, than regular male. Probably.
Wow.
They are more susceptible to the feminine qualities, the nails, the feet, the hair, the tits.
So tell me the psychology you gave me before. They actually think that they're dealing with, they feel still straight when they're dealing with
you couldn't call them gay. They wouldn't accept it.
Wow.
They said, you have titties.
Right.
What man has titties?
Okay.
Your skin is smooth and soft. What man is that smooth and soft?
Okay, but I want to say real quickly.
But you still have a penis.
Right. I want to say real quickly. So not only do they go out with men, we'll say chicks with dicks, but I think I don't know if that's politically correct, but we're just talking here, right?
That's streety.
We're streety, okay. Transgendered individuals
chicks with big dicks are the ones that do the very best.
But they actually have guys who like them and are bottoms. And they actually fucking the guys, the straight
bottoms,
guys. Wow.
Oral, giving, receiving.
Okay.
And they will consider themselves heterosexual, marry, have kids,
that is
and continue. We'll talk about Santa Barbara. Timothy McGillen.
Wow.
Insurance exec. Was married for 20 years. Before he married his wife, he met a black transgender. 2 years. Messed with her for years. And then over the 20-year period, had one daughter. He continued to interact with transgender. And for 5 years, I saw him.
Wow.
He told me about his daughter who dated a black man, who his wife is a racist, who didn't know his daughter been dating a black man for 5. I knew all about his life.
But his wife didn't know that he was dating a black transsexual.
Had no clue. Now, they divorced due to many reasons, but she, up until I recently, was just notified that Timothy and I were connected. Someone found out that he had seen me, and his daughter found out, and it's just wild that this guy's been married for 20 years, but for 30 years he's been messing around with transgender and wouldn't consider himself gay.
Wow.
He goes to Santa Barbara business in the country club, and he ran an insurance business and would say to today that he's heterosexual, but he craves, as he calls it, black cock.
Wow, but on a woman.
And loves to be fucked by a
transgender, though. It can't be a straight, it can't be a gay guy.
Wouldn't get with a guy who's just a guy with a big black dick. Right.